What's up, everybody? So we are live here with Moonrise, going to do another arena run. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we have a special guest here. So let's go ahead and grab our daily reward and say hi, guys, to Scruffy. Woo! This is the cheerleader. This guy, he's gonna pound it out. He is my wife's stuffed animal since she was a little girl, like 2 or 3 years old, and he has survived all this time. As you can see, it says "Mommy's Rookie" over here. Ah! And I told her I was gonna make Scruffy insta famous by putting him on Twitch, and he's gonna pound it out when we beat someone. All right, guys. So we have Scruffy. We have our setup. We are here live. In the bottom left, you should see the elemental weakness. In the right side of the screen, you should see the chat bar. So if you want to chat over there. We're going to go make a brand new arena team here, guys. For those that are just tuning in, have no idea what Moonrise is, it's a creature battler similar to Pokemon, and it is fast-paced, though, not turn-based. It is live action. You can see here, this is arena mode. You get a whole bunch of level 50s, all custom built already. You get a custom relic set. You get to choose 6 of those monsters. They're called Solaris here in Moonrise. And you also get to choose 2 of the relics. One of major, one minor. These are your skills for the warden, the trainer, the person who's in the background. So you'll see in just a little bit, for those that don't know, that you could have 2 Solari, 2 monsters up front, and then you have a warden, a trainer, yourself. You're fighting it out in the background back there. And there's 2 ways to win. Kill the trainer. So if you take the trainer's HP down to 0, you win the fight no matter how many monsters you've killed or not killed. Or kill all 6 of the trainer's Pokemon, monsters, creatures, whatever you want to call them. So there's 2 different distinct ways to win. And again, you are up against either AI opponents or actual other human players that are doing the exact same as you, building their team from this random batch of relics. So the Warden, you have 2 moves here. And here is the boot up time. This is how long it takes to actually start the move. So 15 seconds. These are in seconds. There are some modifications that you can have, like gear and special effects. But for the most part, this is 15 seconds to use this skill. And then this is a 50-second reuse time. So it is a pretty quick, in this game, 15 seconds it goes by pretty quick. What it does here is it applies root, means that it cannot be withdrawn. It also applies burning. So they're going to be rooted, they can't be taken out of the fight, and they're going to have some burning on them. Burning is a very, very strong status effect in the arena, and you'll see that in just a second. So this one's pretty good. The root is a big factor here, because when you withdraw, when you take them out of the fight, they cleanse all of the status effects. So if they were burned or they had toxin on them, you take them out of the fight, and then they don't have those status effects anymore. The next one here, Toxic Barrage. This one, 10-second boot up time, so a lot quicker. I mean, 5-second difference. That's a big difference in a real live fight. And it's a 40-second reuse time. It will apply Toxin. Toxin deals poison damage over time, stacks up to 3 times, and occasionally, an effect occasionally receives Toxin, stacking damage over time. So you're guaranteed to get 1 Toxin tick on him. So Toxin 1. And then you also have Infect, which Infect could give him more Toxin damage as well. Toxin stacks up to 3 tiers. As you can see here, stacks to 3. When you get Toxin 3 on someone, they're going to die in about 5 seconds. It burns down really quick. This over here is the damage modifier, so it does a little bit of base damage, and this tells you what enemy you can actually target. So it says target enemy. That means you can only hit the front line people unless there was nobody in the front line. Then you can target the actual trainer. Over here, the last relic that we have to choose from, 25-second boot up, 70-second reuse time, so it's a lot longer. It has a massive heal over here for 75. Most Solari, most monsters have around 200 HP. You can target ally, which means your monsters, or you can target yourself, which is a pretty big heal. It also will apply haste. Haste reduces the cooldowns and casting time. So these guys right here, what we're talking about, this skill will reduce these down. It also gives Evade high chance to take no damage from the next attack. Evade's not so great, but it's better than nothing. So out of these 3 right here, probably not going to take the dynamic supercharge, but we will see. I'm a fan of the offensive beat 'em down, quick, just brawl it out style. We're probably going to take this Toxic Barrage right here. Does a small amount of damage. It's guaranteed toxin. It's a quick boot up, a little bit quicker than this one. So I like the speed aspect. The only thing, this one actually hits the entire front row. But as with my style of how I play, I kind of burn down people really quick, or tried to burn down people really quick. So normally it's a 2-on-1 fight, and normally they only have one Solari out on the field at a time. So normally I'm not going to need to hit the entire front row. Again, you'll see this in action as we go through here. So for our next relic, these are minor. These are a little bit weaker, supposedly, than the major relics. They have a little bit different kind of cooldowns. You can see they're a lot quicker. This one right here, Root Smash, it's a nature skill, 35 points of damage. It will apply Root. So we discussed that. They can't take them out. This one here, Team Armor, 6 seconds and 50-second reuse time. It's going to apply block to all Solari. It should be all, yeah, it says all ally Solari. So only your guys are going to get block, which means they're going to take no damage from the next strength attack. That's pretty big. Attacks are split up into 2 different types. It's block for strength, and then reflect. No, yeah, reflect, I believe, for the spirit. So there's strength attacks, and then there's spirit attacks. So this is blocking 50% of those attacks. Then right here, Hibernate. Hibernate is not necessarily that great of a relic unless you have a really specific niche strategy. 3-second boot up, 55-second reuse. It applies only to yourself. What it does is it puts regeneration on you and it petrifies you. So it kind of like stalls. Not really that great of a relic in my opinion. It can be used, it's situational. So between here we have Team Armor and we have Root Smash. I, again, like I said, like the quick pace, just smash them, beat them up. So I like to do damage. This is a quick boot up, quick reuse time. I like that. So we're going to go and take down one that's equipped. Let's go take a look at our team. You make a squad of 6 like we talked about earlier. This is the default team that they just threw up here with us. We can take a look at all. You get 12 different Solari. Some of them are from the same evolution tiers. Let's see if we have any of those guys right here. We sort of do. The Slugsley and the Sleespark are from the same evolution family, but this is the fire variation and this is the water variation. But yeah, we don't have actually any direct, like, baby forms of any of these guys. So let's take a look. Typically, with how you run a team, you want to have one of each element so you can go and have the elemental advantage. I really like the Fangsworm. Fangsworm has a really powerful Reckless Flames right here. 12-second boot up. 24-second reuse. It does 85 points of damage, which is like the almost one of the highest damage dealing skills that you can do. And it does backfire to itself, means he takes some damage himself when he attacks. But that's okay because his passive. This is a passive trait right here. Everyone has different ones. His is regain health when it attacks. So when he actually attacks, he's going to get some HP back. So this is going to counter this backfire skill. So we definitely want to have Fangsworm. He's a great fire creature in my opinion. You also want to look for 0 boot up time. So let's take a look at our squad here. We only got 1 stone. So again, typically you want to take 1 of every element if possible. For stone, we can take this guy. Shellback is actually pretty good. You want to look at the 0 boot up skills. So first, starting off, again, I like Fast and Furious offensive style. His only boot up at 0 second is this Crystal Citadel, which is going to put up a Crystal Shield, which means you take less spirit damage. It's a buff. I don't like buffs. His next move is 6 seconds, which isn't too bad. It does 60 points of damage. It implies Rage Self, which isn't the greatest because Rage makes him do more damage, but he takes extra damage from hits. So it does a lot of base damage. 60 points of damage is a lot, and 6 seconds is a quick boot up. His passive occasionally heals when it attacks, which is good. I really want the stone damage, though, so he's got some nice stone damage over here. Clobbering Smash is huge, 75 points of damage, and Obsidian Drill, 50 points. So overall, we're probably going to take him because we have no other stone options. For Lightning, let's take a look at Lightning. We have 2 right here, and we have a Buzzle over here. Let's take a look at the Buzzle. Any 0 boot up. So Haste. Again, haste is a buff. I do not like buffs in Arena for how I play. You can maybe work out a team with buffs that work effectively to your style, but for me, buffs are just too slow and the Solaris don't live long enough to actually be useful. So this is a different lightning creature. He's got Team Haste, which again is a buff. I don't like buffs, but at least this one is Team Haste, and it works on everybody. So all allies Solari. The other one was just one person. That is just the worst. You don't want to have haste with just one person. His other 0 boot up is really good. It is Spark Barrage. It has the chance to stun as well. So it's a 0 for 8s. It also does Chain Lightning, which is a little bit of lightning damage spread out across the enemy team. And this is a great, great move. Chain Lightning will take away any of those deflects, those pesky little buffs that people have on their squad. He also gains block after taking strength damage for the first time, which this is actually a lie. He gains block when he comes into the fight. So the tooltip here is wrong. Skitterbug is pretty good, which means he's not going to be able to take any strength damage for the first hit. So that's a nice, nice passive right there. Let's take out the other lightning guy, because maybe we want this one instead. 0 for 0, Team Haste, again, a buff. We talked about that. No other 0 for 0, so just right there, just based on that merit, we're going to take out this shock the shock guy, because we don't want him. His tool set is just not ideal for us. We'll take a little bit look. So after we do the Spark Barrage, we're going to pretty much be able to do Fearless Lunge, 19 seconds, and we're going to have to wait a little bit more for Reckless Storm here, 60 seconds, a long boot up. But we'll be able to do this next one right here. So we have our Skitterbolt for lightning damage. Now, Nature. We got 2 Nature guys right here. Let's take a look over here. Nothing else. Alright, Shinzo is typically a healer, and he's got a great passive. Heals a bit every few seconds. The only problem with Shinzo is that you need to avoid fire creatures at all costs. Fire creatures can do massive damage, and grass nature is weak to fire, as you can see in the bottom left there. So that one, the Fangs Worm, could pretty much one-hit KO the Shinzo if you use the Reckless Flames on the Shinzo. It will be very, very close. So that's really important to know and master. So make sure that you avoid fire creatures with the Shinzo. Other than that, you're pretty much golden. Shinzo is pretty good. He doesn't have... Oh, yeah, he does. He has a 0 boot up attack right here, which is good. And then he has a couple other decent skills. He's got regeneration, all allies. This is a pretty big skill. And then he also has a major heal. And then he's got a toxic skill right here. So Shinzo overall is a pretty nice Solari. The next one we have is Thrash Petal. 0 second boot up right there. And then he has Petal Whip, which is a chance to stun. Chances to stun are okay. I mean, you want it guaranteed, but they kind of needed to make it balanced. He's also got the big heal. He's got Cleanse Ally. Cleanse Ally is not really that great of a move. Again, it's kind of like a buff. You don't really have time to actually use it before. When you're trying to use this, the person's going to die. So it just doesn't work out well. So Thrash Petal we're not going to take. We're going to take Thrash Petal out. And now we have our 4 Solari right there. And we go look over here. We have Water to pick up. Frangaroo deals more basic damage. Unfortunately, he's only got 1 water skill, and we're kind of looking for a water Solari right now. He does have a nature skill as well, which is nice, so he's very versatile and take care of 2 different things. The Sleespark, I remember Sleespark very fondly. He's extremely powerful. His passive deals more electric damage, takes more stone and fire. This guy is a hybrid between lightning and water, which kind of crazy because he's actually weak to lightning himself. But his passive, he'll deal more lightning damage. He does have a quick douse, 0 second boot up time. He's got Neutralizing Tide. He's got some more lightning damage right there. And that's a really, really strong lightning attack. Plus, it'll apply Erosion. Very, very good attack. He's very versatile. I definitely like him on my team. So we got 1 more slot left. It's up in the air. We have Kindlehoof, Slugsley, Emberjaw, Froggaroo, Buzzle. We got these guys to choose from. What to pick. So at this point, you can pick whatever you want, and whatever you do kind of double down on. I recommend kind of starting out with that first, so that way if one of these guys goes down, then you're not missing that element. So